When you get rich, tell no one. It sounds like a piece of cryptic advice, doesn't it? Something your paranoid uncle would whisper at a Thanksgiving dinner, right after warning you about the phone lines. But here's the thing that might genuinely shock you. This isn't paranoia, it's wisdom. Some of the wealthiest people you walk past every single day are masters of financial invisibility. They are driving 10-year-old, beat-up Honda Civics. They are wearing clothes from Target or Costco. You would never, in a million years, guess that they have more money resting in their bank account than most people will see in 5 lifetimes. My name is Mark, and I spend what is probably an unhealthy amount of time thinking about money. Specifically, why most people are programmed to completely sabotage themselves, to light a match to their own financial future the moment they start accumulating any real, meaningful wealth. If you are someone who actually wants to understand what true financial freedom looks like, not the hollow, performative version, but the real, unshakable, life-altering foundation, then you are in the right place. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if it forces you to rewire how you think about wealth. Now, before we dive into why keeping your mouth shut might be the single most powerful financial decision you will ever make, let me ask you a question. When you picture getting rich, what's the first image that flashes into your mind? Be brutally honest. Maybe it's the roar of a new Lamborghini engine, the one you post on Instagram. Perhaps it's that sprawling mansion with more rooms than you could possibly use, a testament to your arrival. Or maybe it's that fantasy of walking into a designer store, pointing and buying whatever catches your eye without once glancing at the insulting little price tag. Here's what's fascinating and terrifying about human psychology. Most people don't actually want to be rich. They want to look rich. They want the sensation of being rich. There is a massive canyon-sized chasm between those two things, and understanding that difference will determine with almost 100% certainty whether you build lasting generational wealth or if you end up broke, suffocating in a closet full of designer clothes. Think about it this way. Why do you really want the money? Strip away all the surface level, socially acceptable answers. Get brutally honest with yourself. Sure, you'll say financial freedom. You'll say the ability to retire my parents. Those are noble goals, but if you dig deeper, down to the primal operating system, there's probably a part of you that wants other people to know you've made it. You want the respect. You want the admiration. You want, perhaps, even a little bit of envy from the people who are still stuck in jobs they hate, the people who doubted you. This desire for recognition isn't necessarily wrong. It's not evil. It's just human. But in the high-stakes game of wealth, it is a fatal vulnerability. It is the chink in your armor. Because the moment you start showing off your wealth, the moment you prioritize the performance of wealth over the accumulation of it, you have essentially just painted a fluorescent, glowing bullseye on your back. And I'm not just talking about criminals, though that's definitely a new and boring part of your life. I'm talking about something much more subtle and infinitely more damaging to your long-term financial health. Let me tell you about a concept called stealth wealth. It's the most powerful financial strategy nobody ever talks about because the people who practice it, well, they don't talk about it. Stealth wealth is exactly what it sounds like. You accumulate significant, life-altering money, but nobody around you has any idea. You live modestly. You drive reasonable cars. You avoid, like the plague, the trap of lifestyle inflation that financially castrates so many people the second they get a promotion or a windfall. Now, I know exactly what you're thinking. Mark, what's the point of having money if you can't enjoy it? What's the point if I have to live like a monk? That's a fair question. It's the most important question, and I promise, we will get to that. But first, let me show you in excruciating detail why broadcasting your wealth is one of the fastest ways to lose it and to lose yourself in the process. Privacy and security become immediate concerns. When people know you're rich, you become a target for burglaries, scams, lawsuits, and predators. Billionaires hire security and live gated for a reason. Advertising wealth invites new problems. But the security risks, they're honestly the least of your worries. The real danger, the one that will poison your life, is what happens to your relationships. The moment people know you have money, every single interaction becomes tainted. Every relationship is now filtered through that new knowledge. Suddenly, you can never be sure. You develop what I call the sickness of suspicion. That new friend who seems to love hanging out with you, you'll wonder, maybe they genuinely like you, or maybe they're just hoping you'll pick up the check at the next expensive restaurant. That distant relative who suddenly starts calling just to check in, you'll wonder, could be they missed you, or could be they heard through the family grapevine that you've come into some money and they have an investment opportunity. This isn't cynicism talking. This is the tragic human reality that countless wealthy individuals face. Money changes how people perceive you. More importantly, it changes how they behave around you. Some of the loneliest people in the world are wealthy individuals who are trapped in this prison of suspicion, surrounded by people but fundamentally alone, never 100% sure if someone likes them for who they are, or for what they can provide. This is where the pressure to maintain appearances once you start showing off creates a vicious, self-perpetuating cycle that can and will actually make you poor over time. Let's say you buy that expensive car to show your success. Great, but now you feel pressure. You've established a new public baseline. You feel a pressure to live up to that image. You need the clothes that match the car. You need a home that's worthy of someone who drives such a vehicle. You need to eat at the restaurants and vacation in the places that align with the lifestyle you've now advertised. Before you know it, you are trapped in what I call the appearance prison. You are working harder, taking on more stress, not to build more wealth, but just to maintain an image that you created for other people's benefit. You're no longer the owner of your wealth. You are its slave. You are a prisoner. And the bars of your cell are made of monthly payments, leases, and the crushing weight of public expectation. Meanwhile, the truly wealthy person, the one practicing stealth wealth, is quietly, relentlessly building more wealth because they're not incinerating their capital on the altar of ego. Here's something that might surprise you. Many high earners, I'm talking people making multiple 6 figures, even 7 figures, deliberately choose to drive modest vehicles. They are cruising around in Toyota Camrys and Honda Accords, not because they have to, but because they choose to. Why? Because they figured out something that most people never learn. Your car doesn't need to be a billboard advertising your financial status. That car isn't just a mode of transport, it's a social camouflage. It's a shield. When you drive a reasonable car, live in a modest home, and dress normally, you get to experience something incredibly valuable. Something the man in the Lamborghini will never experience again. You get to form genuine relationships. You can interact with others as equals. You can have a real conversation without the weird toxic power dynamics that money always creates. Think about your current friend group. Now, just imagine, how would those relationships change if they all suddenly knew you had 10, 20, or 50 times more money than they did? Would they still split the bill equally when you go out to eat? Or would all eyes shift to you? Would they still complain to you about their financial problems? Or would an awkward, resentful silence fill the air? Would they still treat you the same way? Or would there be an underlying tension, a new layer of expectation and resentment that wasn't there before? This is why so many newly rich people end up surrounding themselves only with other rich people. It's not always snobbery, though it can look like it from the outside. It's self-defense. It's the only way they can find a social circle where money becomes less of a factor, where the sickness of suspicion can finally recede. There's an old saying about wealth that perfectly captures this entire concept. It's the parable of the lawnmower. It goes, there are 3 levels of rich. When you're poor, you cut your own grass. When you're middle class, you pay someone else to cut your grass. But when you're truly wealthy, you cut your own grass again. Why? Because you finally realize that freedom means doing what you want to do, not what you think a rich person is supposed to do. The person cutting their own grass, again, has figured out the secret. They figured out that possessions, especially the ones bought for show, do not bring lasting happiness. Experiences do. Relationships do. The freedom to spend your time, your one non-renewable resource, however you choose, that does. But a garage full of expensive cars that require constant maintenance, eye-watering insurance, and a persistent, low-level worry about scratches and theft, that's not freedom. That's just expensive stress. Consider this scenario. You're at your 20-year high school reunion. That guy who used to stuff you in lockers, the one who peaked in 12th grade, walks up. He's bragging, loudly, about his new, leased Tesla, his corner office, with a view, and the bonus he just got. Meanwhile, you're standing there in your 5-year-old jeans and a simple t-shirt, knowing with quiet, unshakable confidence that you could buy his entire subdivision and his company without even checking your bank balance. There's something almost comically satisfying about that moment, isn't there? This is the hidden superpower of stealth wealth. You get to navigate the world with insider knowledge that nobody else has. You're like a financial superhero in civilian clothes. People treat you normally. They treat you with authenticity because they have no idea at all, that you've escaped the very matrix they are still desperately trapped in. When you're not broadcasting your wealth, you get to see people's true characters. You discover who is genuinely generous when they think you're the one who might be struggling. You learn who offers help without expecting a single thing in return. You find out which friends invite you places just because they enjoy your company, not because they expect you to pick up the tab. This kind of insight is priceless. It's like having X-ray vision into human nature. Here's something that might surprise you, but let's talk about the practical benefits. When service providers, your mechanic, your contractor, your plumber, think you're a regular middle-class customer, you get honest quotes and genuine service. The moment they smell money, the instant they see that luxury car in the driveway, an invisible wealth tax is applied to everything. Suddenly, your mechanic starts suggesting premium, unnecessary services. Your contractor finds all sorts of additional, urgent work that absolutely must be done. There is an entire, multi-billion-dollar industry built around one single thing, separating wealthy people from their money. And the first step in that process is identifying who has the money to begin with. When you fly under the radar, you avoid becoming their target. Now let's finally address the elephant in the room. What's the point of having money if you can't enjoy it? This objection reveals a fundamental, tragic misunderstanding about what money is actually for. Money's true purpose is not consumption. It's insulation. Money is meant to buy you options. It's meant to buy you freedom. It's meant to reduce stress and increase day by day your ability to live life entirely on your own terms. None of these benefits, not one, requires anyone else to know about your financial situation. Think about the last time you were genuinely, profoundly happy. Was it because of something expensive you owned? Or was it during a deep, laughing conversation with someone you care about? A quiet moment in nature. Most of our deepest, most lasting satisfaction comes from experiences and relationships, not possessions. And here's the beautiful, liberating paradox. When people don't know you have money, your experiences often become richer and your relationships more authentic. Take travel. When you're not trying to document your luxury vacation for social media, you actually get to experience it. You can focus on the adventure itself, rather than on the exhausting performance of creating content to prove to strangers that you can afford such adventures. This shift in perspective also makes you a terrifyingly better investor. When you're not constantly bleeding money on status symbols, you have more capital. While others are financing depreciating luxury cars, you're buying appreciating investments. While they're paying premium prices just to maintain their image, you are quietly, relentlessly compounding your returns. The math is simple, but it is brutally powerful. Every single dollar you don't incinerate on the altar of ego is a dollar that can be put to work for you. It's a tiny soldier sent out to fight for your freedom, and those soldiers compound for decades into an unstoppable army. This approach also protects you from one of the most dangerous wealth destroyers, the people closest to you. Family members who know you have money will, often with the best of intentions, find reasons why you should share it. Fairness suddenly gets redefined in ways that always seem to cost you. The solution isn't to cut ties. The solution is to control the information flow. You can still be an incredibly generous person, but it becomes your choice rather than their expectation. Your generosity becomes a gift, not an obligation. The final irony is that the people most impressed by your flashy displays of wealth are, by definition, the ones who can't afford such displays themselves. They're the wrong audience. This brings up the dark secret of our social media age: debt-funded luxury. How many of those perfect Instagram posts, the cars, the watches, the vacations, are actually funded by credit cards and crippling loans? When you embrace stealth wealth, you completely, totally, and peacefully opt out of this exhausting, soul-sucking game. Here's something that might blow your mind. Some of the wealthiest people I know still shop at Costco, still use coupons, and still drive their cars until the wheels fall off. Not because they have to, but because they want to. There's a famous term for this in psychology: hedonic adaptation. It means humans get used to improvements with shocking speed. That first week with your new luxury car, it feels amazing. By month 3, it's just your car. The excitement fades, but the payment remains for 60 more months. The stealth wealth mindset makes you a radically better decision maker. You can ask yourself the 2 most important questions. 1. Do I actually need this? 2. Or do I just want to be seen with this? This right here becomes your financial superpower. Let's talk final payoff: financial confidence. Not arrogance. Deep, quiet assurance, knowing you handle any emergency. Car breaks? Inconvenience. Medical bill? Covered. Spontaneous trip? Go. This confidence opposes the nervous energy of maintaining an expensive lifestyle on shaky ground. The difference between true security and mere appearance. It boosts every life area. Better negotiations, no desperation. Smarter risks, deep safety net, and sounder sleep. So there you have it. When you get rich, keep your mouth shut. Let everyone else play the exhausting, expensive, and unwinnable game of financial theater. You'll be playing a different game, a better one. Build your wealth quietly, enjoy your freedom privately. And remember, true prosperity isn't about what you own, it's about what doesn't own you. The best kind of rich is the kind nobody sees coming. If this video rewired your brain, smash subscribe, like, and bell. Drop a comment, stealth mode activated, to join the Invisible Rich Club.